podcasting is the new streets. Like in the streets, somebody would want you gone. They would try to get you out of here because they want your clientele and the position you hold in the market. Just like podcasting, where somebody will see that you have an audience and you hold a particular space in the quote unquote market, and they want your clientele, aka your audience, and they will do anything in their power to get you going, like kick your back in, hate on you unprovokingly, like for no reason whatsoever. That's what's currently going on with this podcaster called Loon and Academics. See, Loon has this one-sided beef going on with Academics. He has like this fixation with Academics. And their beef started a couple of years ago when Loon went on Charlamagne the God's podcast and just unprovokingly started to hate on Academics. Like I remember Andrew Schultz said something like, hey, I think Academics would be good at comedy. Loon started hating on Andrew Schultz thinking that Academics could do comedy. Like he spent like his entire episode. So the podcast was about an hour and like 50 minutes. He spent the entire hour and 50 minutes talking about how Academics isn't that good. He don't understand why people listen to him and why people watch him. And it was just like, I don't know, man, like pretty sad to think that you would have that much hatred and, and like that much hate in your heart for somebody that you never met.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. I swear I don't get it. I don't get it. I heard you, though, one more thing. I heard you speak about Academics. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
I think Academics.
What did I say? Tony gets right to it. I love it.
Yeah, you said that. First of all, I think last week you said you could do comedy.
Yeah, I think he could do it.
Tell me more.
I just find him funny, and I find his takes good, and I find like his use of words good.
Economy of words. I think
not just economy, but like specific words that he chooses to use and the metaphors that he kind of builds. Like I think he's a funny guy. Comedy takes time, don't get me wrong, but I think he has a brain for it.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I think that you're giving him a little too much. I don't know why. And I want to understand why. I think you met him at a very unique time in your life, and I think he's your doorway to the other side of the culture.
I think he was before the guy.
The other side. No,
the other side.
What the Messy, the Chicago, the BC Bull.
That's just hate, bro. Like, why do you care about this man so much? Loon went so far in on Academics during that podcast that even after the podcast, like Academics thought that Charlamagne the God put him up to, right? Like that's how just nasty it was, man. So because Loon decided he was going to take that approach of, I guess, hating on a man he never met, I obviously don't like Loon for that particular reason. So this time around, when Loon was in the headlines this week, Academics decided he was going to, take the opportunity to talk about it. So Academics, right, went on his live stream and he discussed Charleston White walking out of Loon's podcast after Loon essentially told Charleston White that he can't talk about Young Thug and he can't talk about, like these rappers or people that he had relationships with because apparently Loon invited Charleston White on because Charleston White talks about celebrities, but then told Charleston White he can't discuss the celebrities that he's friends with. So it was just a weird situation, and Academics thought like it was pretty spineless of Loon.
This guy right here, I want to let you know, I don't know him. I thought I've always said he's trying to become Tax Stone. Charlamagne signed him for like $23. He's been trying to be Tax Stone. Like, I'm the real. Like, he's one of those guys, he keeps acting like he's so real, like he turns lame. Charleston did an interview with him. This is a paid show. I want to let everybody know. Lil Baby, Young Thug, he completely sucks them off. Trust me. He probably gargles their cum, and his belly is probably filled with all the DNA of all them Atlanta street rappers. No backbone possible. I keep telling you, this right here is the biggest fraud we got. He's a wannabe Tax Stone that just really, Tax Stone at least was entertaining. He's a slow-talking old bum.
That pays you real money to play games. And no, it's not a scam. I actually like under the hood and the business makes total sense. Let me explain. Most of them earn while you play at scale because they have to manually fund rewards. They run out of money, the rewards dry up, and then you feel cheated. Just Play built the whole thing differently. The games run ads inside them that ad revenue funds the rewards, and it all runs through their own payout system. It's self-sustaining, to say the least. Genuinely the first one where I understand why it works. Is this another one of those scam apps? No, it's just Play. Try it, link it back.
that's gotten propped up by the who are trying to run campaigns. When I see a rapper sit with him, they're literally trying to get quote unquote the streets to validate, because he supposedly represents the street, an opinion that the culture doesn't feel. So he sucks off Lil Baby, he sucks off Young Thug. So he cares a lot about sometimes victims. Now you want to talk about the victims of Young Thug, but what I tell you about this nigga, Tucker, watch it. I think Thug got him on payroll. Watch this.
Was highlighted, but y'all have never highlighted no victim of their time. I don't want to talk about Thug. All I'm saying,
I know you're doing your work. You know that's my look.
So I'm saying, look, I don't think Loon understands how bad of a look that was, man. To see Charleston White so vulnerable, so passionate, yelling at the top of his lungs, really trying to have a constructive conversation about how destructive these rappers are to our culture. To see Charleston White be in a vulnerable state like that, and to see Loon try to shut it down because he wants to protect his relationship, I don't think he understands how bad that looks, especially from people who don't got nothing against him. Like I don't got nothing against Loon, right? Like, I don't dislike Loon. But watching that interview, I was disappointed. Because from my perspective, that took me from, okay, I'm watching honest conversations take place on this platform. That took me from that mindset to, oh, this is just like there's no hope of honest conversations happening here, right? Like the platform is being dictated by relationships with rappers, okay? And the conversation here is purely dictated by whoever Loon has a relationship with, right? If Loon likes the person, they can do no wrong, right? If you don't like them, right? So like, it ruined the entire credibility of what he's building, right? You know, a reputation takes decades to build. It takes 1 second to ruin it, and that's what took place here. Now, Academics gave his opinion. It was pretty harsh, to be honest, right? Like I got nothing against Loon, so I wouldn't say those words towards him. I wouldn't, disparage him, in that manner, even though I think I've heard through the grapevine that Loon has some things to say about me, particularly when I said I belong in the top 25 hip-hop media list, but that's neither here nor there. Well, Loon responded back to Academics, and he was highly upset that Academics, told him that he be sucking off Young Thug and others.
The case study comes from me when Them try to act like I handled it wrong and Bank handled it right. Now, I agree. I invite conversations surrounding Thug and anybody else, just not in character mode. I got to keep saying that so they don't get a clip out of context. The internet is a very weird place. Now, if we have a conversation and they end up getting to a place where you're telling your truth, that's one thing, handle your business. But I just don't operate like that. I think they have a very low-level approach and understanding because they grew up outside the gate. They never grew up where their mama said, you came with each other, y'all leave with each other.
Well, don't treat us like we're stupid, Brad. Like, don't treat us like we have a below baseline 80 IQ. Because what you're doing here is you're trying to manipulate us and talk to us as if we're stupid. Now, I don't know what your audience is. I don't know the demographic. I don't know the IQ. But you must be talking to us this way because you talk like this to your audience, and they probably fall for it. But, bro, we watched the episode. Like we're not dumb here, bro. Like, before Charleston White brought up Young Thug, y'all had a conversation about character versus real. Charleston White said, y'all not prepared for the real me. You said, I want the real you. Let's have the conversation. Charleston said, okay, let's talk about the victim. And then you shut it down. Like, he was giving you the real. Like, he said, okay, we're done with the character. Let's talk about the real problems now, the victim. And he wanted to bring up Elon Musk revealing the new feature that shows us exactly.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
Got the format of how the house was laid.
Nobody wins when the family feels.
I don't play about my pay. Nigga come up missing. Big ass pole on a fuck, nigga, I take 'em fishing. Pop out with them drinks. Shit'll make the nigga start pissing. You and your partner, bitch, won't be surprised y'all niggas start kissing. Nigga got...
Okay. Hey! Hey! Hey!
If he listens to us, we'll figure it out.
You know, you gotta understand he's a black man. You gotta feel him up.
I'm black too.
Okay, what's that more? I got babies. Alone. I got him. Hello. I'm gonna please stop. My children. I have 7 children. I got children. What's going on? Am I yes, sir. Okay.
Two people, no female, are arguing.
Excuse me, sir.
You don't know what you're talk. Just let me talk.
Excuse me, sir. Can I please file a police report also because it came from his baby mom and his daughter and she said bring her home.
My wife said, I will bring her home.
And then you can see cars right there.
Lady
Christian, hey.
Oh, Ben.
Hey, you can take it right now.
Yes. You don't understand what we're coming to. All right, it gets for the rule.
Are you done?
All said that a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I would like to please, I would like to please follow.
He is grieving tonight after a 2-year-old girl drowned at a home.
And police said the family had all the safety measures in place to prevent something like this from happening.
Life ain't no joke already as it is. And then with social media, you know, that's a life in itself, right? Hey, look, can't nobody tell you how you should grieve when it comes to your loved one, especially your kids. And despite what the world might persuade you to think, ain't nobody on this world perfect but God. And once we establish that, we understand life happens, right? Because somebody may look like they got more than you on social media, don't mean they living better than you, man. Let's throw that out there. I got one child, one that think it's a lie. I'm talking about a full-blown dad. I can't imagine having 7. Can you? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But that's the story of a man who we got to talk about today. A man who, on this past Father's Day, became one of, if not the worst days of his life. Coming outside saying his toddler unresponsive in the poop. What you do? A lot of people are already pointing out the obvious, right? The unattendance. No gate around the pool. Now, we'll later get to all that. We're going to look at the format of how the house was laid out and even the pool. But it was something that was done just yesterday that made this man have to recant his statement on social media. And I don't know if he was wrong or right, but it just goes to show you how powerful social media can be. That can stop you from grieving to try to please the public. This man made a GoFundMe. People noticed the life he was portraying online, the house this situation happened in, but he's not taking accountability of bills. Some people have financial struggles, and having your main source of income be TikTok is not that stable. But nonetheless, that man withdrew his GoFundMe that he made for his daughter. I'm gonna go over the facts. I'm gonna go over this in chronological order, but I'm gonna let you guys let me know how y'all feel about this one at the end. But most importantly, I want to send some love and prayers to this man. He made a statement via his attorney after all the backlash this morning, which compelled me to bring it to you guys' attention. So before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Man, they said I needed to make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. It's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful tools. And one of the main tools lets you access up to $750 of your paycheck in advance if you switch over with Current. You get a full set of features like the paycheck advance, overdraft, the bill card, and more. Whether you want to build credit or a smoother way of managing your money, it actually handles everything in one app. I actually like the app myself. That's why I partner with it. And right now, they're giving away $75 to anyone who sign up using my QR code or use the link that's in my bio. Once you scan the QR code, it'll take you directly to the sign-in page, into the normal steps, into your information, order your current card. Once you're done with that, it'll prompt you to a section with promo code. Make sure you enter the promo code, the family. That link automatically unlocks the $75. Make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss out. So let's check out this video. Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to Bridget? Because she always be wearing like short little outfits and revealing clothes around my boyfriend. And the other day she walked in there and she had on like the little Nike bra top and some little shorts and her stomach was showing. And it just was, I just feel like she shouldn't be doing it.
I mean, as long as she ain't trying to flirt with him or nothing, I talk to her. Well,
no, he be looking at her and I just don't want him to look at her so she can just not dress like that.
hey, well, she should have been up in her own house. Now, the problem lies with boyfriend. He shouldn't be looking. Because if that's your sister, he should look at her like a sister as well.
What if it's a real place you can visit? Two friends, Nicole and Robert, have managed to reach it, and now they're eager to explore the lost world and its secrets. And trust us, there are plenty. Strange artifacts, exotic flora, and creatures never seen before await those brave enough to explore the lost islands and reveal their secrets. Yet, you won't travel alone.
Fam, that was TikToker Jamal Moore, also known as JMO, or Mr. G. Right now, he mourning the loss of his 2-year-old daughter, Rose, but we won't show her picture. Now living in Atlanta, Georgia, the influencer has launched a GoFundMe after announcing the death of Tyler. JMO shared online that his daughter died after accidentally drowning in their family's pool, the same pool you guys see on the screen. Now, before we go over exactly what he had to say and why he decided to take away the GoFundMe, let's talk about him for a second. For those unaware, Jamal Moore is the father of 9. I may have misquoted. He gained millions of followers across TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where he uploads comedy sketches.
What's the deal?
Jamal also worked as an actor. He joined TikTok in July 2022. He started making content.
Just trying to get back to platinum, man.
Has been married to
get the hell out of gold.
Also make Instagram reels with her husband and kids. In November of 2025, he spoke with the Rap House TV interview and spoke about his fatherhood.
I was about to change it, just listening to some stuff in the background, but it was this dude, he influencer on TikTok. His daughter had drowned in his pool in the backyard on Father's Day, and everybody was saying it's weird because he made a video in the same pool the next day, and people was trying to figure out, was it a upload that was set to come out that day, or did he go out in the pool after his daughter died in the pool and then shot a TikTok? And then some people were saying they couldn't find no police report about a baby dying in the pool. So they were saying that maybe he lied about it just to get a GoFundMe, because he started a GoFundMe, and everybody's saying he looked rich on TikTok, but he got a GoFundMe. It's probably a scam, and then he took the GoFundMe down, but nobody got no police report about the baby dying. So, and then he not even grieving, like acting sad. It's like they making TikToks in the pool. So it's like people think either the baby, he sacrificed the baby and don't care, or either the baby never died and he just pretended so he could get money from the GoFundMe. So I don't know. It's just a video about that shit.
I'm trying to put you on my show. But really, you're a real whole ass nigga. So look, I'm gonna tell you what your fans got to say.
Yeah, I am about to change it because I done seen 3 videos about the same shit, and I'm not really the type to care about somebody else's business.
White supremacist conservative commentator Jake Lang.
I'm trying to find something interesting to listen to.
A sign that said black parents are failures and that black culture is disgusting. And the people of LA were not having it.
No, they were not having it. And it's sad commentary on Trump's America that they had to deal with it in the first place. Far-right mega douchebag Jake Lang there should still be rotting in jail after he took part in the J6 riots. But King Trump pardoned him and set him free on all of us in society. And he's been...
The world is ass, though, man. It's like... It's nothing good to watch, bro. It's just all drama and racist politics and culture wars. And this person's career over. The satisfying downfall of blank. Like, everybody just want to see somebody do bad or die. I'm checking out for real. Start sitting in the backyard and just talking to the grass or something.
Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
I haven't heard anything worth covering on this Big U stuff in a long time, so we're going to cover this. They said it's a big win for Big U. I don't know what that means, but let's go over here and find out. Why is this content
A big win for Big U. What happened in court that we need to know? Let's check it out.
Big U just got a win, and I don't know if the internet gonna like that one. So here we go. Defendant Eugene Henley Jr.'s ex parte application to set briefing and hearing schedule for reassigned wiretap suppression motions. Declaration of Craig A. Harbaugh. Must be one of the Harbaugh coaches. I'm joking. This ain't talking matter.
Go to your room, Dada.
Introduction. Defendant Eugene Henley Jr. respectfully applies ex parte for an order setting a status conference on July 9, 2026. The first date both parties are available, and from that, conference setting a briefing and hearing schedule for the wiretap suppression motions will be assigned to this court docket numbers 174, 189, 194, 195, and 258. A status conference is the necessary first step. The recusal and reassignment have left both the schedule and the structure of the evidentiary hearing for this court to set. The July 15, 2026 hearing, the recused judge set will not go forward, and the July 3rd, 2026 supplemental briefing deadline was key to that hearing. The order that set them expressly permitted modification, docket number 342, Act 2. A brief conference lets the court reset the schedule and define the hearing it will conduct in one step. Mr. Hill proposes that the court set the status conference for July 9, 2026, a supplemental briefing deadline of August 6, 2026, and a hearing on September 24, 2026, or October 8, 2026. Subject to the court's direction at the conference, the government takes no position on the briefing and hearing dates and defers to the court and does not believe the status conference is necessary. Wait, what you mean? You don't mean, wait.
Go to your room.
Briefing on the old schedule
Go play
before
with your
this
toys.
court.
Get a phone,
There is no
watch TV.
Let me stop right there. So, if Big U got action that coming home, I think his enemies better pack their stuff up and move out of town. Yeah, they better pack their stuff and move out of town, man. There's been a whole lot of crazy stuff going on since he's been gone. We need order back in this town. We'll get back.
Any reason to hold the parties to the July 3rd, 2026 deadline? Briefing on the old schedule before this court has identified what it needs to decide these motions. Risk supplemental briefs that do not reach the court's concerns and further around the court would have to order. Setting a conference first lets the court define the briefing and the shape of the evidentiary hearing and the outset and receive one set of submissions built to answer its questions. So this ain't really about nothing. It's really,
what do it mean, sir? You just heard all that, Dad. What do it mean? Just break down what it means. Everybody don't want to hear that. They don't like reading.
About just setting it all up to have all the evidence you want to hear, the wiretaps and all that shit. And we'll get into that at the very end because there's something being said on the internet that I 1,000,000% disagree because of the phrase, if the shoe was on the other foot. But basically, we got to set the schedule up. We got to get all this shit straight before we even proceed. Let's make sure we got all this stuff set up. And the reason why is pretty interesting. On May 18, 2026, Judge Aline Rocha set a hearing schedule for all pretrial motions. Set the wiretap suppression motions for hearing on July 15, 2026, and set an evidentiary/Frank's hearing on Mr. Henley's motion to suppress intercepted communications for the same date, document 342 at 2. The order provided that the dates in this order may be modified as needed. Following June 10, 2026 hearing, the court set July 3rd, 2026 as the deadline for any supplemental briefing on the wiretap motions in advance of the July 15, 2026 hearing, docket number 358. On June 22nd, 2026, Judge Rocha recused himself from the wiretap suppression motions. Wait, what?
So did they violate the man due process right? Let's continue.
The court explained that because it had reviewed, considered, and authorized the pre-indictment wiretaps that are subject of the pending motions to suppress, it recused out of an abundance of caution, finding that a reasonable person with knowledge of all the facts would conclude that this court's impartiality might reasonably be questioned under 455A. The court denied Mr. Henley's pending request to reassign the motions. Nah, bro, you gotta let it happen. What the fuck?
Yeah, why would you deny it?
What you talking about? Also, on June 22nd, 2026, the wiretap suppression motions and joinders, docket numbers, we ain't doing all that, were referred to a randomly drawn district judge and assigned to this court docket 359.
docket 361, directing the clerk to reassign the motions to another district judge. On June 27, 2026, defense counsel proposed a schedule set out above to the government. Harbaugh declared on June 29, 2026, the government responded that it takes no position on the briefing and hearing dates and will defer to the court, and that it does not believe a status conference necessary. The government also advised that it is likely not available on July 2nd, 2026, but is available on July 9th. So as we said before,
fucking goodness,
the freaking comment section was split in half. We said the old judge had to go as far as the wiretaps go because he couldn't be unbiased. He approved the damn wiretaps. So you're not going to go back and then say, oh, I made a mistake. You're not going to do that.
Nope. So that's what the big win in the big U case is, but he got so many other charges. Would this even matter?
Nobody would reasonably say, hey, man, that judge was completely unbiased. So they're doing this shit by the book. Thank you, feds, for finally doing something right. Thank you, feds, for doing something right, because you can't look at the shit you did and then go, oh, I got this wrong, and think that if you don't point out something you got wrong, that we ain't gonna look at you and go, yeah, bro, nah, hold the hell on. Nah, something ain't right. Go get somebody else, because you can't be the person to fix your own mistakes. That's right. Why we have appeals and all of this shit. And judges getting booted off from airing their own damn shit. So shout out to Big U lawyers for catching that shit. We agreed, by the way, and that shit was split down the middle. People thought Big U was paying me, and I'm like, I'm just being fair as I possibly can. But let's continue on with this third part.
You got some good lawyers, man. Yeah, they can catch some more breaks like that in the rest of the cases, boy, you'd be back out here. How many people in the comment section would love to see Big U come back to the streets, man? Anybody should want somebody to come home. Nobody want nobody to stay up in here, but you do got guys that want him to stay up in here.
Argument. A status conference on July 9, 2026 is the necessary first step. A status conference is the efficient way to reset these motions. On July 9, 2026 is the first date the parties can vote on. The court is entering the case after a year.
Smoking ganja, inhaling nature's secret mist, partaking in the forbidden lettuce. Call it what you want, it doesn't really matter. What does matter is how you act when you do it. And not just how you act in the moment, but your mindset toward the Za in general. Because after about 3 years of being a self-appointed Zaza scientist, I've started to notice something. Your relationship with the Lord's Loud is often just a reflection of your overall personality. Are you a binge toker, a controlled, consistent explorer, or are you the guy who only really enjoys being faded when everyone else around him is also faded? There's a lot to unpack here, so let's just start this off properly with the unwinder. The unwinder is a type of lettuce enjoyer who uses the grass to, well, unwind. And I don't just mean he chokes up at night after work. His entire mindset toward the lettuce is basically flipping a switch in your brain that activates chill mode. Whether he's alone or with friends, he's almost always down for whatever, as long as it doesn't involve interrupting his chill. So if you're faded in a group with this guy and someone goes, hey, you know what would be crazy? If we all went skinny dipping right now in that ice-cold pond outside. You can know with 100% certainty that he does not want to go. Internally, he's in agony because everyone just agreed to an activity that is completely incompatible with a chill night. But since he is chill to the max, instead of complaining like a little bitch, he goes along with it. He does the stupid skinny dipping. He participates, he nods along, but he looks visibly dead inside because while everyone else is out there having fun, all he's thinking is, I can't wait for this to be over so I can get high and watch alpha male influencers, ironically, for comedy. Which brings us to the bane of the unwinder's existence, the recovering alcohol. And obviously, I don't mean this literally. I mean the type of dude who doesn't view the grass much differently than he views poison in a bottle. To him, getting faded means entering an altered state of mind where the goal is activity, banter, movement, ideas, doing things. And I hate this guy. Well, not really. Because if you've ever been in a stress made of only unwinders, you know the problem. The aura of chill becomes overwhelming. Everyone is so content with whatever that nothing actually happens. No show or movie gets chosen, no midnight McDonald's run is agreed upon, no potential link up with some baddies is even explored because all of those things would interrupt the chill night. But here's the reality. Even the chillest of tokers enjoys a bit of flair, a bit of spice, something that adds variety and gives you a new appreciation for chilling afterward, which even the chillest of unwinders need a little adventure now and then, if only you have something to talk about afterwards. And when you do head out exploring, it helps to have a portable, more lung-friendly way to get faded, like the Bro Cloud or the brand new Bro Cloud Plus. If you're anything beyond a complete beginner, having a reliable dry herb vaporizer in your loadout is a must, not just for the convenience and portability, but because vaporizing significantly reduces the harmful byproducts of combustion compared to smoke, including things like tar and carbon monoxide. There are plenty of devices out there, but in the Bro Cloud's price range, it's generally hard to find one with a large 2000 milliamp hour battery, stainless steel build, and USB-C charging all in one package. And right now for Valentine's Day, you'll get 20% off, plus a free rolling tray with any Bro Cloud or Bro Cloud Plus order. To learn more, all you have to do is be at least 18, go to the pinned comment and check it out. So while the Unwinder and this guy are complete opposites, they actually need each other to survive. One prevents chaos, the other prevents stagnation. Together, balance. But beyond the yin and yang of Za smokers, there are a lot of more specific archetypes, and one I've been noticing a lot lately is when one starts moving irregular. You'd think this one would be super common, but it actually isn't. For most people, the Za just amplifies who they already are. Sure, they'll have more wild takes, more philosophical comments, maybe some outlandish remarks, but it's still them. When the Zaza gets someone moving irregular, though, you can tell instantly. I'm talking about the dude who changes, he warps, he becomes a version of himself you never see. Maybe it's a side that's always there internally, but only comes out when he's hot. Who knows? A lot of these people start talking. And I mean talking. They laugh at everything, every thought gets externalized, and depending on the situation, they become a lot to manage. As a proud unwinder, it's always wild to watch someone smoke up and then act like they just did a line in the basket. It feels like they're saying everything that pops into their head, sometimes in a way that makes holding a conversation borderline impossible. And holding a convo while high is already hard enough without someone interrupting every 5 seconds. That said, I try not to be a D about it, because it reminds me of the days when I'd smoke a bowl and feel like I just entered a completely